Welcome to the Never Been Promoted podcast and YouTube channel. I'm on a mission to help you cut the time to all the things that are holding you back so you can unleash your entrepreneur. Welcome back to Never Been Promoted. I'm your host, Thomas Helfrich. I still smell lovely. Not that you care, but I love to start out with things that make you look at the phone or your computer and go, what the hell did I tune into? That's my deal. It's usually where I define a relationship. I like to draw lines in the sand and then take a full running start at it and jump over it to see if you're still cool with that. That was a small jump. We'll get into it more later. It is afternoon here on whatever day it is, and I'm having a coffee because we're going to be talking about how to understand real estate easy with Brittany Cavallo. Now, I want to say Cavallo, maybe put a little tilde in there somewhere, but I don't know how to speak Spanish, nor I'm not very smart. It doesn't matter. Listen, hey, but what I do know is that you need to cut ties to things holding you back to get better at entrepreneurship. That is our mission. So if this is your first time here, thanks for entertaining or humoring me. Just thanks for being here. And I hope you come back. And if you've been here before, stick around. You know how it is. You know how it goes. We're going to learn something from our guest today. We're going to learn something about her journey and hopefully learn how to make real estate easy, affordable, and understandable. I think it's pretty straightforward. It's a house. You buy it, and then you spend a bunch of money fixing it, and then you sell it again. It's great. And you wonder, why did I spend all that time and money when I moved? She'll probably cover that. All right. Listen, guys, one shameless plug I do have is please go to youtube.com it's youtube.com/@ Never Been Promoted. Give it a subscribe. Specifically from the U.S. You're not from the U.S. You can still subscribe, but I'd rather if you were from the U.S. and subscribed. Is that selfish? Probably. Don't really care. Hope you get here. Brittany, I'm feeling cheeky today. Let me tell you, this is like the third or fourth one today. I got more full cheekiness, double cheek.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you coming in. My cheekiness, my kids would call it a gyat level of cheekiness. Like I've got a gyat. I do have a gyat. Not that anyone cares, but it's sizable. I mean, that thing, it can break hips and chairs just by walking by them. It's crazy. Once again, it has nothing to do with real estate.
That's right.
How are you today? So tell us, where do you reside as home?
So I am south of Boston, in between like Cape Cod and Boston, Mass, about 45 minutes. Inland, I wish I lived on the ocean, but with just a quick drive away.
Mm-hmm. If you lived on the ocean, you probably would be too rich to be talking to me.
I don't know. So real estate is getting really expensive. And so I don't think I would even want to really live or have that much money to live there. It would be nice, but it's a nice vacation spot. And I like our little quaint town and the little house that we have, that we bought in the height of all of the insanity through COVID. So that was fun. That's
the best time to. Well, we'll talk about when to jump in. You know, it's like when to plant a tree kind of idea. I think that's a really good conversation part we'll have here. What now? I'm not asking for your exact address here, but what little town do you live in?
I live in Whitman, Whitman.
And here's my kind of icebreaker question: what's the one thing in Whitman, if you do visit or you drive through or whatever you do there? What is it? The one thing you do there, and what's the one thing you should never do there?
There's a lot of things you shouldn't do. But we have our park in the center of our town is actually a park that was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. So it is one of the
He's a rapper, right? Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. My husband's an architect, and so he loves this park. He thinks it's like one of the coolest things since sliced bread. I'm like, oh, there's gravel walkways, but it is beautiful. So if you come to town, highly recommend that you check that out. And then we have a really, really cute downtown area with amazing little shops. So we love to shop small and give back to small businesses. So make sure you stop in there.
What's the don't do?
What is what?
What shouldn't you do there?
Oh, so Our town, I guess, way back in the day was known for helping to bring drugs from other towns.
Yeah.
So I would stay away from that if there's still some of that going on.
I mean, so you're saying there's a solid drug trade there if you need it. You just got to know
Yes.
where to go. So
Yes.
stay away from the Hardee's on Main Street. And
Yes,
you won't. Okay.
exactly.
I don't know, but there always seems to be a Hardee's on Main Street. I don't know why.
Yes, we don't actually have Hardee's here. Hardee's is like a southern, I think the closest Hardee's, because I love Hardee's. I grew up with Hardee's. Love their biscuits on Sunday mornings. But the closest one to us is like 1,200 miles away.
Don't go there. That's what I'm saying. It's too far.
Exactly.
Now you're in a real estate game.
Yes.
Do you want to start with kind of the high level of what you do and take us back a little ways to show me, set up your credentials and who you are a little bit, how you got there?
Yes. So I own Refined Real Estate. We are a boutique real estate brokerage helping people in the Northeast in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. So we go all 3 states, buy homes, sell homes, and invest in real estate. And we help people do that affordably and with ease. So I got started in the business in 2009, kind of fell into my lap. I owned a mechanical contracting company with my ex-husband, and the economy crashed and we had to close our doors and file bankruptcy and lay off over 150 employees. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I had a friend at the time who owned a temp agency, and I called her and I said, what do I do? And she sent me to work for a large big box retail real estate company to do their advertising and marketing in a very affluent town on the water. And so I sat in this really nice office overlooking the harbor for 2 years, helping people and agents do all of their marketing and put everything online for people to go and buy and sell homes. And the town that I was working in at the time is a very affluent town. Those people that I'm never going to be in their capital of being able to afford those houses on the beach there. And the one thing that kept happening was all of these really to-do agents came in and they had all these great commission checks, but they were always in trouble and they never really cared about their client. So I finally sat back one day and said, if they can make all the money they're making, I can make half of the money they're making, and I can actually make a difference in people's lives. So I went out. I didn't tell anyone that I was getting my real estate license. I took classes at night, went and took the test, passed it with no real intention of leaving my day-to-day job and going into that field right away. Back in 2010, 2011, our state sent out new license information to every single brokerage in our state. I did not know that. I sat down for my two-year review with my manager at the time, and the first thing he said to me was, I know you got your real estate license. You don't know what you're actually doing or getting into. You'll never make it in the business. Go back upstairs and just help us market.
Wow.
Yes.
Did you extend the middle finger fully at that point, or did you keep it in your pocket?
I kept it in my pocket. The really cool thing is our district manager actually shared an office right next to me upstairs, and he was in the office that day. So by the time I walked the 45 steps upstairs, I said, by the way, I'm out. This has been really nice working with you guys. I'm out. So I didn't even
that's an implied middle finger. I like that.
Yes, but I didn't give it
to you. You didn't shove it up anything. You just said,
no.
I'm gonna show it to you on the way out. I could have shoved it in you, but I didn't.
Yeah. So I didn't give it to my manager. I went above him and I was like, hey guys, I'm out. And I remember leaving the office going, what did I just do? I don't know how to sell real estate. I took a test that means absolutely nothing. They don't teach you anything in real estate school except how to not get sued. And I've never really paid attention in any meetings of how you sell real estate, but here I am. And the district manager at the time called me after I got home and he said, it's okay, you quit. Don't care. I want you to come work for us. I want to teach you how to sell real estate. And I was young and naive. And so I said, okay, great. And so I went back in. I worked with them for, I think, another 3 weeks. I didn't last very long and got into a fight with that said manager again. And at that point, threw my keys on the table in the middle of a meeting in front of probably 55 other agents and told them all where to go. And I haven't
it's the other agent's fault. It's just that asshole manager, right? What's his
Yes.
name? Let's call him out or her out right now.
I won't do that. He has since retired. I did find out like a month ago that he retired, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll actually do business in that town, because I actually have not been back to that office nor done a deal with that office since leaving. So,
well, I have a feeling if you felt that same way, there's a handful of others who did as well.
yes, exactly. From there, I ended up, because it's been this roller coaster of a ride to get where I am. So from there, I went and I door knocked a small independent brokerage, and the manager hired me on the spot, and she was leaving the next day to go to Mexico. And this
Like
is
forever?
No, it's like for vacation. She was
Oh,
leaving for vacation. And when she came back 5 days later, she called an office meeting. Now, I had just left the big box retail company I was at, went to the small outfit, and she came back and she said, oh, by the way, I'm no longer the manager. We've just hired a manager that worked for the same big box real estate company I had just left. And I was like, I can't do it. Like, I'm going to pack up. I'm going to call the temp agency back. I haven't done one thing in real estate. Like, this is just crazy. So she was being transferred to another office that this small independent brokerage was opening. So I said, well, can I follow you? I don't know what I don't know, but I like you, and I can't work for this manager. It just can't happen. Sorry. I went into that lady and I was like, hey, Maureen, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but you have too much of that big box retail mentality going on. Can you just leave a door open for me if I come back? Like, I don't know what I don't know. That woman has never spoken to me. And I have seen her many places, but she didn't want anything to do, because she was very insulted that I did not want her to manage me at the time.
Wait, so this is the manager from before you ran from?
Well, she had come from a different location of the big box.
So it's a different manager.
Different manager, the same box. And I was like, I just can't do it. If this now,
I mean, like, what kind of a manager? Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Listen,
I think you made the right call. Someone can't handle.
I was young and dumb.
By your style and company, like, and you're personally offended, but like without a personal offense.
Right.
Like, come on. Anyway.
Right. And I've
seen her shit situation. A manager should understand that. Like, I'm different. I swear.
I know, but no. And she's proved that she was from that, regime, because she wasn't what I needed.
Here's the thing. She's probably very angry in her life, and that's okay for her.
And I have realized that it's taken me a long time in life. I've been disappointed a lot in my life. I actually was in a therapy session a few hours ago for some things going on in life. And it's people are just, they're themselves, and they act the way that they act because they're unhappy, or they are happy, or there's things going on in their lives. And it's not about us.
It's interesting. You'll do something on LinkedIn. I'll give you an example that I've discovered recently. And I know you've gone through some of your own personal stuff, but recently, just here's an example of how if LinkedIn, you'll run something, you very rarely get hate meaning messages on LinkedIn. If you do, your report, they usually get kicked off because LinkedIn's a little bit, or at least you never see them again.
Yeah.
Converse that with Meta, and you run an ad that says something like, hey, are you an interesting entrepreneur? I'd like to feature you. I'd like to have your story. I'm not selling anything. I give you a link. You can apply, whatever else. I get more like, go fuck yourself. You scammer. Like, I don't need this shit. Why are you in my inbox? And like, you click the ad, you small-minded simpleton. Like, I did not message you. You messaged me. Do you see who sent the message first? And I usually am very polite with them. I'm like, it sounds like you're having a wonderful day. How can I help you? I'm like, and I just try to be as AI Autobot-ish as it, because they are horrible, awful people. And they're on Facebook. I hate to say it. There's just some people on Instagram that just sit there and look at troll people. And this person's a real life troll. There you go.
I had that happen recently. I posted an advertisement of something that our company is doing to make real estate more affordable for people. And I had closed Facebook or Meta, Instagram. I had closed it. I had gone on with my day. I went to open it up to do something else. And someone had taken my post and reposted it. And you would have thought that I went to the local shelter and let all the dogs out and they were all running out everywhere. Like I was being put under a microscope from people in the industry that don't know me, but we could do a deal together. It's insane what happens.
There's nothing you can do about it either except report them, right? And that doesn't do much, but it's just people are awful. And this is I look for little entrepreneurial advice pieces when you're building your company. Mm-hmm. And I'm new to meta ads and some other things. Mm-hmm. So that was new to me because I've been on LinkedIn primarily for 5 years. Yeah. And you don't see that nonsense there because people are much more professional typically there as well. Mm-hmm. Though I will occasionally get someone to be like, "You're a scammer," and then they'll solicit me in WhatsApp.
Something they're trying to sell you?
Yeah. I'm like, well, and I'll go through the whole thing with them. And at the end, I'll be like, does it make sense from a sales strategy to first publicly trash somebody on a post and then back up into a sale to try to get them to buy? Mm-hmm. Does that actually work for you? I go, there's no way I'm ever buying from you. Right. I go, I've reported you. Like you're like, yep. It's unbelievable. And I'm like, but I wasted their time first. I made sure I wasted enough of it first. Oh, thank you for listening. I feel better.
Of course.
Let's sum that up. There's some horrible people. So you've had to navigate through it. And you had some personal stuff too, because I was not making fun. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce your name.
Yes.
Talk to me about that a little bit too. It's part of the journey because I think a lot of people have been through what you've been through.
Yeah. So I have a really interesting family dynamic. However, I got married really young. And so fortunately now, I got divorced I left in the middle of 2017, got divorced later that year. And in the middle of our divorce, one of the things that was a huge contentious argument was the fact that I wanted to keep my ex-husband's last name, which is Italian, which is Cavallo. And it got dragged through the mud with the judge many different times because in our state, usually you revert to your maiden name as just a rule of thumb. However, I had built my entire business and brand around who I was at the time because I was still with other outfits. So I had to keep my last name because it was literally how people knew me in our industry. There was no way I could get rid of it.
The flip side is if I'm going to have to switch it, there's a financial impact.
Yes.
You would need to pay me out to get rid of it.
When that was not happening.
I need probably $25,000 to do the marketing and website changes and
it was all
rebranding, and then I'll have to get rid of it. You pay for the equity piece that I've built through it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and that wasn't going to happen.
No, it was not going to happen. It was not going to happen. So we talk occasionally now. Just spoke to him last week. I had something happen and another life-altering thing happened in my family. And so I called him to let him know. And because that is how I met him. So my dad passed away. And so my dad had introduced us. So I felt that it was the right thing to do to call and say, hey, by the way, this happened. And so when the obituary came out, he mentioned it again. He's like, well, your last name. I was like, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Just give me cash.
Just pay me out for it.
It's now $50,000. It was $25,000 back then. Now it's bigger. It's bigger.
Oh, I think I'd have to go to like 75 or 100.
Let's go 200.
Even better.
It's going to be zero. It doesn't matter. I know why we're discussing this. This is like if I win the lottery.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So you've gone through this. Tell me just a little, just like, give me where you launched it and the main problem you're solving. Say this is the thing I knew I needed to solve.
Yeah. So I had the opportunity to branch out on my own in 2019. So that is when we opened Refined. And the biggest thing when I opened, it was kind of twofold. One thing in the industry from agent to agent perspective is that when you are going out to brokerages and they're looking to hire you, they force you or they make you feel guilty for having another job in the beginning. So one of the things for me when I opened up my brokerage was to make our culture affordable, and also inclusive of every single person that might have another job. It is really, really hard to get into this business. If anyone tells you at any time that real estate is easy, it's fast, and you limitless income potential, but it takes a heck of a long time to get
You
there.
need two things. You need a network, you need a brand, and you're going to also need a down interest rate market. You're going to need
Yes.
like right now, if you can afford it, it is a good time, I think, to get into, because you can start building a network without having to have a whole lot of stuff. Like you can do it, but I mean, it's good. It's like any other business. You got to build a network, you got to build a brand, and you got to build trust.
You have to. And when I got in the business, people were still buying homes 2 or 3 times in their lifetime, maybe 4. I deal with everyday people that this is going to be the largest financial decision they're ever going to make in their life. So I want to make it super affordable for them. But when you're looking at from an agent perspective, those people that when I got in the business might have purchased 2 or 3 times in the lifetime, and that's the life cycle of a customer, people are staying in their houses now 30 years. So what would have been a first-time home buyer house to an upsell to a downsize is not happening as much. So you have to be okay with it taking a little while to build that brand, to build that network, and be able to have those people convert to actual customers.
What's been the hardest thing with, there's lots of formulas so much for doing a brokerage. What's been the hardest challenge, though, for you to come up with your own niche of it?
For me, it's been sticking to what I know is right and not what the industry says is right.
All right, so let's dive into that.
Yeah.
Why does the industry say it's right, and why do you feel like you needed to challenge it?
So we're going through an issue right now. We've had some regulation changes over the past 3 months. And so one of those big things is commissions and how commissions get paid. Traditionally in the past, it has been the thought that sellers pay all of the commissions when in fact, commission has always been negotiable and a buyer can pay for it or a seller can pay for it. The problem is a lot of the buyers that are out there don't have extra cash to purchase a home if they had to pay an agent themselves. So we've seen a lot of change in that over the last 6 to 12 months. And so
the sellers can't set the commission rates. There's things around written contracts, like I have a little familiar with the space, but a big problem a lot of lawsuits have been faced on is collusion and obvious collusion of driving the price up 5-6%. Because the commissions there's a financial incentive to do so. There's motive.
Right.
Are you seeing any trends? This is a softball question. It might be a softball question where, to me, just from personal experience, we sold a house during the kind of crazy time and we didn't do an agent. We found our own buyer and no commission. So we saved 6%. So you saved 1.5 years, 2 years of equity, basically. Right. And I filed with the title company, at least in Georgia, because you have to go through a law office. I signed 2 pieces of paper to sell that. That was it. It was a disclosure and whatever something else was. You probably know better than I do. All right, that was it. And that's all the work I had to do, and I saved a ton of money. In the future, though, I'm like, just because my house costs more, I don't think the percentage. What's wrong with? Why can't you just be like, hey, listen, given your service level, hey, you do it yourself showings we'll do it for you, but it's a flat fee.
And that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. Question. Do you see what I did there?
Yes,
why can't to me, that's a no-brainer. Now, your industry is like, stop doing that. You're in our industry. The truth is, that's how it should be.
It's how it should be.
Free market. Now, do you get when you're on the FMLS or your MLS system? Are those systems accommodating to flat fee? Or are they always percentage based? Because that's been a problem as well, I believe.
Yes. So as part of the lawsuit resolution on the national level, they were forced to remove that commission notion of it having to be a percentage. So up until August 17th of this year, we did have to put in a commission or percentage amount in order to list in that system. So much so that I have many emails over the past year from our local board threatening to revoke my membership, threatening to fine me per day for not following those rules because we do offer the flat fee.
Yeah, but in August of this year that changed, so they can't even threaten that anymore.
Yes. And so it's been really interesting. I had a lot of people call me, especially this year where I was testing the market. Okay, how does this work? What is going to be the temperature if we do this exercise and we go flat fee based, or we don't, we only charge our client. And I got a lot of phone calls from people that you are insane. I can't believe you're doing this. You are the scum of the industry. It's been so much fun. And
I'd say you're definitely in the right spot. If you're getting attacked by the industry of which you're competing,
I've made it.
You have found the thing that they're so protective of. And I would think personally, I think if you went out there I don't know how your brand goes. I haven't done a ton of homework on your ads, but I would be like, why pay commission for real estate? We are flat fee. We are full service and less expensive. Anyway, you'd be crazy not to have you list your home or buy a home.
Yes.
We're a better option.
Yes.
And the truth is, on the flat fee, specific on the buyer's agent, which you're unlocking doors. Effectively, I hate to say that. I don't mean that mean, but like the truth is, you're unlocking doors. The sellers should be like, I do want to work with a flat fee agent because it's going to cost me less to sell the house.
Yes.
And so the listing agents, maybe there's a place for that a little bit, but then it also takes away the collusion that, if the buyer says, hey, we're going to do a percentage, then so be it. But I'd say, listen, flat fee. And actually for you, it's even better. Like, if I'm both, then the buyer's fee is cut in half or something you can make it such a no brainer to sell a house with you. They should hate you every step of the way because they can't compete because your cost model is going to be completely different.
And they do hate me. And when I decided that, and let me preface this with, some of my team doesn't agree with what I'm doing. So even
they shouldn't be on your team.
Right. But that is, I am all for everyone runs it the way they want to run it. And if they're not allowed, we did make changes. They did have to agree to some of the changes that we're doing. But I have one friend of mine in particular that's like, I'm going to charge a percentage of every transaction I do. And I'm like, that is perfectly fine. Fine. I find when I am charging my flat fee, I give my clients better service organically because I'm not held to having to do an open house every single weekend, and I don't get burnt out as much. So I'm giving them more attention when I'm with them, and it's allowing myself to be more present. Sometimes.
Well, it's more than that. So if I'm selling my house and you're unable to sell it in the 90 days or 6 months, whatever your contract is, for whatever reason,
I don't want a 6-month contract.
Let's say it's $1 million home, and I'm facing $30,000 of fees to you. But then I'm like, I'm gonna try somebody else. But if you're like, hey, listen, I'm a $5,000 flat fee, I'm gonna try you again because I'm looking like I'm saving $25K, even if. But the thing is, if you can deliver the same level of service or even better, exceed it for a fifth the cost, there's no way people don't pick you unless they're just think it's a scam, and then they're probably they're gonna die soon anyway because they're old. So it doesn't matter. I'm cheeky today. You see what I did there?
You are cheeky. I find that by giving our clients different options, so we have flat fee services from it. I'll take $50 and I'll take and show you houses. I don't care if your agent is away for the weekend. Now your agent feels like they can go and they can have a good vacation, and I'm not going to try to steal your client because I'm getting paid up front. If you're listing with me and my fee is $4,000 or $5,000, whatever it is in that moment, you know what you're getting. You know what I expect of you. I know what you expect of me. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At the end of the day, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was trying to pull back a cough.
At the end of the day, we're one of the only industries that gets paid at the closing table. So if you don't close, I've done 6 months worth of work and I don't get paid. So giving it up front, we all know where we stand.
Well, agreed. And so I do have a question on branding. So typically you want to be known as a brand. So if you're I was having a conversation today, he's a plant food. His thing is like his avatar is Planty Plant or something, whatever. The point is, he wanted to create this specific product, but he could less than 1% of it was going to be amino acid, so he couldn't make it all plants because he couldn't replicate it, and so he wouldn't add the brand. And I was like, you couldn't have a sub brand. He's like, well, no, because if I'm going to be a brand that's all plants, I can't have any confusion at any point that I have anything else in that. And I would say to you, how do you get around that as opposed to just owning? We are flat fee only. We are the least expensive, highest service you'll ever be. We are the Alex Hermosi no-brainer $100 million offers choice for listing for you. How do you take it that way or why don't you just take it that way and say, well, then go work for another big box brokerage because we are a flat fee and you should be able to get more volume from this. And you should have a no-brainer. You've gotten over the one objection everybody's selling a house has.
Yeah, so we don't brand ourselves that way because we do so much more than just the flat fee. So we break it out into, you can buy sets of showings with us. You can do so many different things. So what we do instead of that aspect is we refine your real estate experience to fit you on your level. So if someone does want to come in, there is a stigma that buyers will not go to a listing if compensation is not offered. So we want to leave the door open for what anyone wants to do.
I would challenge it though, but like I find the houses when we're buying houses, not my agent. I find them online through a
I know.
I think that's an old way of like that is gone. Like that ship has sailed. A buyer, like I need you to open the door because that's what's allowed. If there was a way for me to open the door, I wouldn't have a buying agent until I bought it. And even then I would be like, most of them forget half the things of what do you mean I have to remove all this paint and all this shit? Well, it wasn't in the contract. I'm like, where were you on that one? Like,
I know.
That drives me freaking crazy. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming all their shit would be gone when I move in.
No.
And all their shit is, I'm speaking obviously from experience.
And me too.
That wasn't in the contract. I'm like, it wasn't in the contract. Are you kidding me, agent? Like, that's your job to say, well, they should be removing that. Let's put that in. That kind of shit drives me nuts. And like, therefore you're just there collecting a commission for opening a door of which I didn't need help opening. Anyway, sorry, I'll get off my pedestal now. Thank you for listening. Oh, I have challenges. I actually think, I got to tell you, you may have other options, but if your base is like, you could list your home for this much and that's it. But then you have upgrades like, do you want staging? Do you want additional things? Do you want additional showings? Do you want us to have, we'll do 4 open houses for that. If you want additional open houses, it becomes a la carte, but you could try to sell it for that flat fee. If that to me is still the brand you can lead with, and then back into other stuff. But you're saying to me, I think that would be a no-brainer brand. Like that's you can come in and you can sell your house for $5,000, whatever it is.
Right. And you can, and we are doing that. But you're right. I don't know why we're not. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I don't know why we're not.
I mean, but from like an advertising standpoint, sell your house, flat fee. I mean, even $100,000 house, of which you probably don't really want to work with selling, it's too small. Like, and you probably couldn't find it.
If there were $100,000 houses anywhere in the United States at this point in time, I just want to know where they are.
I'll buy them. I agree.
Right. Like I'll go buy them.
If it's in a neighborhood and not in the middle of Bumble.
I don't even care. Like just anywhere. Because like our average home price is over $800,000.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy.
I would challenge you to own that brand, and your top of funnel would be off. And as long as you don't feel like people are getting nickel and dime, like, no, I just want to sell my home for $5,000. The package, like I'm going to show the book again. The Alex Hermosi, no brainer. Go put this formula.
I'm going to have to read that.
No, you don't even have to. Ask GPT, say, do you know Alex Hermosi's $100 million offers framework and the formula? Please present it. It'll show it. You put your stuff in there. It'll give you a bunch of ideas of how to create your offer where people will feel stupid for saying no.
Ooh, I learned something today.
And I will tell you, if your advertising was that, and your creative was like, why pay $30,000 to sell your $1 million, like the average price of the home, $1 million home, when you could do it for $5 with more services? That's what we do. Is it worth a conversation, a 15-minute conversation to tell you how we can help you sell your house super fast, same services as in full service broker for 1/5 the cost? You'll get so much business by the time the market rebounds. You're going to be the only company they use. Your goal should be to put those bastards out of business.
It is. And we're doing so many other things on top of that. So you and I were both on a reality show together. Different seasons, but reality show. And
The Blocks, we talk about it. Season 18 hasn't come out yet. When was yours?
No, I was season 9.
Damn, that was a while ago.
9, yeah.
Did you do the master class?
I did not.
I'm doing it. I'm in the master class. I'm doing the graduate class.
Oh no, I did do graduate school.
Oh, you did graduate. I'm so
I did
excited.
grad school.
For
Yeah.
you guys who
So
watch, those who may be listening, it is an entrepreneurial reality show founded by Wes Bergman, who's like one of the fastest, 671st fastest growing company for startups. Anyway, a lot of fun.
yes.
10th week, you meet lots of cool people, and there's a big community of which now I'm a part of, which is kind of juicy.
Yes, it is so amazing to be a part of that organization. So I went out in season 9, and then I went back last September and filmed Graduate School, and I pitched an idea to kind of add on to our business. And everyone looked at me like I was crazy and was like, no, don't do that. And so as when I quit my job, when I first got into the industry and said, oh no, I'm going to do it. We are now in the process. We just launched our demo of our real estate technology software that is literally going to put me out of business in the future, because I want to show everyone how to buy and sell homes themselves, and just call us when they need us. So we are super, super excited about going down that road as well.
Good for you for shaking the stick at normality. But that's how you do it. I'm surprised anybody at the grad school would call you crazy for doing that, because there's some crazy ass ideas that come through there. They're like, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So I
actually believe you should be able to sell if you're comfortable the having strangers in your home. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And I think, hey, I'm the buyer. Go walk around, whatever. Like, I think that's the only thing. All the forms are standard. And all the negotiations could be done through a very small arbitration if you needed to, if two people couldn't figure it out.
Right. 99.9% of the paperwork that is put through in a real estate transaction is because the brokerage doesn't want to be sued. You need 2 pieces of paper for consideration. You need your state agency form that says like who you represent, fine. And then you need your offer written down. Sign the little John Hancock, move on.
That's what it was. An offer and some agreement to let the title company go do it.
Exactly. And then
that was the 2 things I think we signed for it.
So, and then you sign your deed at the end. I'm not out here selling or solving world hunger or anything like that. I open up a door and go, here's the bathroom. No, let me help you do it.
I actually, when I go to look at houses, I like to go hit a number 2 in one of the bathrooms to see if it flushes. And if it doesn't, I just leave it floating. Or if it's a house I really want, I won't flush and put a sign that says does not flush. Guaranteed you get the house, because no one buys that one.
I love that.
That is not a true statement, but it's really funny. I just
like I want it to be true.
It should be true.
I want it to be
my
true.
personal prank, like, that guy takes dumps in houses, doesn't flush.
That's amazing.
No, I have my kids do it. I bring them to guys, each find a toilet, drop off that Taco Bell, and don't flush it, and put the sign on it. Don't forget to put the sign on it. Plumbing doesn't work in the house. That way people don't make an offer and you do and say, I'll fix that plumbing. Don't you worry about that.
Every single time someone uses the bathroom now when I'm showing a house, I'm going to think of you.
Think of my children. You don't think How funny of a strategy would that be? Go take a dump and don't flush it. I want this house.
I want this house. Hey, I love it.
Well, actually, do a pre-flush so you know it does actually.
So you know it works. Like let's.
I do flush toilets to see if they leak and other things. Not that I'm worried about it. It's going to hurt anything. I'm going to see how much work I have when I'm done.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, what's funny? I love the story. We bought stuff here in Alpharetta, Georgia during the craziness, right? So we sold a house, found our own buyer, got lucky with that. And then we went and say, hey, we can buy a house that we can't really afford, but because we saved 6%, we could afford it, say it that way. And when we did, our house fell through 3 times. And I had walked the house, I've redone a bunch of homes, and I couldn't figure out why in the world this house fell through. Here's the thing that came through. This is what I love about it, the word radon. People are scared when they Google search it, because the 2 buyers that fell before us were both from California, and they are radon. What's that? Oh my God, the gasless.
It's the second leading cause of lung cancer.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, $1,500. $1,500.
An afternoon, and your house is yours. That's what we did. Anyway, it was great. Yeah. I'm also conscious of time here. I want to give you a shameless plug real quick.
Okay.
Before we get into one more question about the future. Who should get a hold of you? How do you want to do that?
Oh my goodness. Every single person should get a hold of me, whether you're an agent, whether you're a buyer, whether you're a seller. I just love to help people explain the process. So you can reach out to me on our website, which is refinedres.com. You can call me. My cell phone, I'll give you my cell phone number. I don't care. 781-812-6108. You can email me, Brittany at refinedres.com. You can find us on all socials. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram, Facebook. Tom's going to help me with the LinkedIn because I'm not great at that, but I will respond. I'm everywhere, anywhere.
Awesome. Love it. All right. What's the one trend in the real estate you think is going to happen and it could be not so much prices, things like that, but if you'd like to, but what areas should people be thinking about as they move into as they start thinking about buying or selling their home?
I think the biggest thing is we are still seeing a huge market struggle with available properties. And I think that will happen for the next 5 to 10 years. So if you are thinking about getting into the real estate space, I would strongly recommend that you're looking at homes that you're not going to outgrow tomorrow. Look at a home that
Seriously, there's an inventory shortage
yes.
because of interest rates, construction costs, just
And then
availability of property, and people aren't
and then
selling.
people are staying in their homes longer. I always say it is a pre-pandemic market and it is the new world market because prior to COVID, especially in our area, we were looking at 30,000 homes on the market any given time. We all do a song and a dance in the street if we get above 5,000 right now. So it is there's definitely a shortage. So make sure that you are looking for longevity in the homes that you're looking at. But
listen, we have like a jumbo, like a 3.5, 3.75, some like crazy low rate where a CD outperforms it right now. Right. And I'm like, this is why people are staying in their homes is like, why would I move with such low rates and the prices going up? I'd have to downsize something I can pay cash for to have it make sense. And that doesn't happen because so there's people will exit out of these things probably to move into something that's smaller, different, whatever the new kind of housing will have to be because there'll be a downsizing play that will have to happen.
There has to be, at some point.
But to do that, you typically are going to something it depends on where the rates are. The point being is that you almost have to pay cash for it to make it make sense.
Right.
You're a lever when you're trying to downsize typically.
Exactly.
So you don't encumber your property when you're doing that. You want to have it free. So you can do reverse mortgage on it and die broke.
I mean,
die broke, people. Let your kids get the bills, let them sort it.
Exactly.
Brittany, thank you for coming on today. This has been a lot of fun and very, very helpful.
So
I'm going to leave you with this. I'm telling you, as we all know, entrepreneurs give great unsolicited advice. So here's given what you saw in the blocks and everything else and everything I've met from hundreds of entrepreneurs, just go own that niche.
I have to. I am so like
that this is the fucking only place possible you should list because I want you to go read this book. It is literally a weekend build. Read.
I'm going to.
I don't agree with everything he does. I think he oversells. Be a millionaire. Be rich. Like if you replace your income, you're doing awesome as an entrepreneur. So the point being is, but his offer system is really smart. You don't even need to read it. Just go to GPT and go build the most kick-ass offer. I offer you additional time to look at it with you to say that's fucking no-brainer for me. And go run ads for 90 days. And I bet you, especially coming to the springtime, you're going to have more leads you know what you can do with.
Super excited. I'm definitely going to.
That's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. I don't even buy it.
No one's doing it. And everyone wants that. It's the number one thing people hate about selling a house is giving up a year or two equity for somebody who gets the paperwork, doesn't know what they're doing. They wear too clicky shoes, whatever.
Right. No, but it's true. It is so true. And you are so right. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Go do it. I want your value to be more than the full service broker. And I want you to have it at a fifth the cost. And that to me is like, if you pick anyone else, it's only because you like your friend, you're stupid for giving them $25,000 you didn't even need to do. Go give them $5,000 for just being your friend then. And you still save 20.
Exactly. Tom,
I'm telling you, like, just do it. And then it's all the extras after, right? It's the what do you call it? It's the family photo that becomes like a 3D print of you from the day. It's the, hey, listen, if you want to have an open house, I'd love to cater it for you afterwards. Like give you like $5 credit, then you get partnerships with people. Like I'd love to give you a $5 catering credit from this company. If you want to do an open house, like you give them so much value that they're like, this company is amazing. And you're going to have every bit of business in the other company and just keep your price. You're going to blow them away. Anyway, sorry. I get excited.
Well, I equate it to, you have kids, I have kids, the school pictures and all of those add-ons.
I mean, who buys school pictures? I take a picture of the picture, go get AI and remove any of the shit, the watermark in front of it. And now I have my school picture when they send me the samples. I know it's bad, but the truth is you're not solving the problem. They're not that great of pictures. No. You won't even let my kids make stupid faces, of which I would buy that picture if you would.
100%.
If I told you, listen, they let you do duck lips, I'll buy it.
Exactly.
They won't do it.
Tom, thank you so much.
It's true. All right, I got to go.
It's true.
It's true. Brittany, you rock. Brittany Cavallo, not your real name, but it's the one we're going to go with.
We're going to go with it.
You had to fight in
Thank you.
court to keep a name that wasn't yours. That's so funny to me. And I think that's
Oh, I'm
awesome.
super stubborn. I'm totally it's like, oh, you want no, you can't have it.
Oh,
No.
You can.
You can, but no.
Rub fingers together and implying, give me money that you don't have.
Well, that's
Thank
what
you
it
so
was.
much. Hey, I'm going to put you in the periwinkle room. I'll be right back with you. We'll talk here in a second off camera.
Perfect.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much, Brittany. Brittany rocks. Listen, I love that she's reinventing the idea of how real estate's done. I actually believe that she's just a little ahead of her time, because I think a lot of companies are going to do this because there's more and more crunch coming down that market, and then there's going to be a lot of competition for a lot of few people, and the deciding is going to be cost. And honestly, I think it's going to be some personality, some other stuff, some knowledge, yes, your experience, but the truth is, everyone knows it's not that really hard, especially if your house is pretty nice and everyone thinks their house is nice. So just do the shit for cheaper. Duh. Call Brittany, check her out. It's redefined res.com. I keep saying it's refined dress without the S at the end, but it's not. It's refined res.com. I hope she has a bunch of variations of that bot, because I would misspell that with my fat ass fingers. Thank you, Brittany, for coming on. Guys, listen, and ladies, if this was your first time here, I hope you had fun, and I hope you didn't think it sucked. If it did suck, I'm going to give you a link. That's my linkedin.com/n/Thomas Helfrich. Tell me why it sucked, or tell me why you loved it. And if you'd like to be a guest, you can reach out to me there. I will actually reply. Don't be too mean. Don't be meta mean. Just be LinkedIn mean if you don't like something. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. And get out there. Go unleash your entrepreneur.